Okay. Let's see where we're at. Do a little play. Nice. Get a refresh here. Good deal. We got any good emotes? Frequently used. Hey guys. Okay. Hopefully fix them. Okay. Reduce my frame rate from 60 to 30. Went to the next level of faster encoder. I thought I was already on the very fastest, but I guess I wasn't. So changed that and delayed my audio by 200 milliseconds. So hopefully all that combined means we're synchronized. Even in a recording, the audio and video desync showed up, so that's pretty bad, as in recording directly to my system from OBS instead of even using the stream. So we'll see. We'll see if we did it. All right. I've been waiting to do this for a while. I was trying to finish open source thing that I was working on for Atomic Data, if anybody's been following along. And I finally finished that. I mean, it hasn't been accepted and merged, and until it is, you don't really know that it's finished, but for the most part, finished. So now, we're going to learn together. We're going to learn some data structures and algorithms using Rust together. So far I've done a really good job of initializing my GitHub repo, and that's about what I've done. And then I did a cargo init lib, and so let's oh wait, trying to push this Discord thing. No, terminal. I said Discord, not what I meant to say. Okay. What are we using these days? Warp? Okay. Oh, I have Slack messages. I remembered that and then I forgot. Oh dear, they actually work. This might be a very, very short stream. No, we'll see. Okay, that's fine. Zoom asks to access via truly.co, but React App is SPA, so it's not supported by default, so you need to configure it on server via Apache or Nginx. It's easier. Okay. If it's just Nginx, it's possible Zajito could handle this. Okay. Probably shouldn't have said that out loud, but it doesn't really matter. I don't know if that's a bug or not. I haven't had it reported before. And it depends on what you mean by created date. The sent date should be updated. Am I just responding to work messages? Yes. I should be done in a second. Okay, sorry about that. Just kind of spaced on making sure all my messages look good. Darth Unix, thanks for the chat. Audio and video seem fine. Cool. Sometimes when my system gets more labored, it starts to act up more. So, you know, if you're still hanging out later, let me know. Let me know if it changes at all. How's your day going? Cool. Okay, so where were we? Let's just kind of restart. We're going to do some data structures and algorithms in Rust. We're going to loosely follow along a certain course that is not open source, but the repo for the course is open source. So we're going to kind of use that as a model and see if it works as a good model. It might not. I might have to find another way to do this. But for now, that's what we're going to try. So far, what we've done is created a GitHub repo, which was really hard. Just kidding. And did a cargo init lib. So yeah, we're doing hard work. So let's exit this because we finished our atomic server implementation for anybody who's watched the stream before. And am I regularly peaking? Let's see. For anyone that's watched the stream, no, it's fine. It's fine. I kind of heard myself peaking, but I think it was just my cough. Okay, we're good. You know, kind of a noob. All right. So what do we actually have here? We have a cargo tomo, we have a source, we've got all sorts of things. Okay. So when I did the cargo init, what changes to git ignore did it make? That makes sense. I have a hard time believing that the GitHub git ignore template didn't already have that. It's just out of interest. Let's find out. Okay. Interesting. Whatever. That's fine. I don't really care. Okay. And this is, yeah, I did the right thing. Okay, so let's just say init lib, get that pushed just so we have kind of a base. Okay, cool. All right, so this is going to be our main lib file. I don't know if we're really going to use it for anything in particular because mostly we're going to test this out by running unit tests. But this can be useful for when we implement different modules and then we want to use them in another module. This will be kind of like our main source for that. So I guess that's how we'll use this thing. Just to go back to here, switch to browser. So we are loosely basing this off of the Primogen's Kata machine, which is here. and it works a little bit interestingly. It basically generates sources and code and tests based on, you know, what you want to work on. So it's a little different, but that's fine. We can still use it. But just so people know kind of what we're working with from the base level. So the very first part that I want to look at, and I'm just making this up as I go. I didn't do a lot of preparation here. So what we're gonna do is look at the kata machine, because I don't remember. No, let's just ls kata machine real quick. I don't remember how it works at the moment. Right, everything's in day one, and then we have all of these data structures, right? So this is basically all the data structures or algorithms that it supports. So we're gonna just kind of move through some of these and see how it goes. The first thing that's kind of like a basic part that's going to be different than, of course, the primes course is written in TypeScript. We're going to use Rust. He even makes a joke in his course about, like, if you hate yourself, use Rust to do this. So, you know, we'll see how masochistic this gets. We'll see what happens. So the first thing I think we're just going to do is an array list and see where that goes. One of the things that is, yeah, that's good. And one of the things that is, of course, different about Rust versus TypeScript is that it has real arrays that we can use in order to implement everything. So that's kind of nice. The other thing I kind of wanted to do while I'm going through these implementations is understand what the built-in functionality is for each of these data structures is. So, like, if you wanted to use an array list, what is that in Rust? Right off the bat, my guess of what an array list is in Rust, for the most part, is pretty much a vector. It's a vec. So I am pretty sure I'm right, but just to go through it, we'll see. So the next thing we're gonna do is copy over from array list in TypeScript. We're going to copy this over just as a guide, basically. So if we do, I think I hit that right, this, and we paste this, and we make it a comment. This is going to be kind of our guide for our interface, essentially. We could probably start by just typing out this in Rust. So we could do that. Oh, I inverted there for my block comment, which I don't love using block comments in general, but I'm going to in this case because it's going to make it a lot nicer. So let's just, yeah, I'm just thinking how I actually want to do this. Do I want to edit this, or do I want to just use it as a reference? I think I'm going to just use it as a reference. I think it'll be nicer that way. So, You just get rid of this white space, and that makes me happier. Okay, much easier to read. Okay, so the first thing we're going to say to start with is, let's see, should we do a trait of ArrayList or should we do a struct? Let's start with a struct and see how we end up feeling about it. So funny enough, that's going to be very much how we start our struct here. Having a public length, yeah, I'm already thinking that I just want a trait. I can't decide. I'm having such a hard time deciding. All right, we're just gonna do a trait. Should we? Yeah, let's do it. Sure. So let's say trait ArrayList T. I think this will work. And then we're gonna say struct ArrayList temple. It's good enough. And we should type number. That's funny. So what should we do? Maybe use size for now. Our constructor, of course, is just going to be new. Just think about this. I've actually never written my own trait in Rust, I just realized. So I actually, this is a little bit new ground for me. So give me, I'm a true noob. I mean, I've written like a month of Rust, but I've never bothered implementing my own trait. At least I haven't in a while, I should say. I've written traits before, running through courses, but like just from scratch, I haven't actually done it. So that's pretty funny. So let's do that real quick, huh? Let's see. No. Wow, loud. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Yes, pager duty. I see you. Let's see. Where do we think traits might be in Rust by example? There we go. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. Okay. Okay. So you just reference it as self. That's what I was assuming. Takes an additional single parameter and does nothing with it. I already think I'm making this too difficult with the trait. I'm just gonna, we're gonna go with struct and see how far we get. Why am I having a problem with this? Because my hand's in the wrong place. That's why. Okay. So let's go back here. We're gonna say length, use size, constructor. No, that's just gonna be new. Okay. So basically, our only public thing is this. I think that's how we're gonna want that. And then if we say impl ArrayList T, and we need to change this back to just ArrayList, of course not. What is that? D4H, okay. Then we'll do something like function new. And our constructor takes no args. And there. Okay. So ideally we also have we have things in here that are like our private values. Length is public, of course, but then we have kind of our private array, so it's going to be something like maybe not a const, because it's not a const. It's going to be inner, sure. Let inner equals, and it's just going to be an array, and I don't remember. Oh my god, I'm not on coding. Huh. Well, there's the code that I was just writing, so sorry about that. You know. I just realized my air conditioner's not on. No wonder I'm hot. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna be right back. BRB. Here I thought I was just sweating from the pressure. Okay. So we have a primitive array. I think actually Rust by example is going to be a better thing for this. So is there a search? Arrays and slices and primitives. Thank you. Array is a collection of objects of the same type T stored in contiguous memory. So it's a real array. Very nice. Arrays are created using brackets, and their length, which is known at compile time, is part of their type signature. T:" length. Okay. And then a slice is not known as at compile time. The word size is the same as unit size. Okay, slices can be used to borrow a section of an array and have the type signature and T. Okay. Pretty much knew that. Right. So basically we just need to init an array with T. Hey Soundle, how's it going? Welcome. What is this? What does this emoji mean? Warpsa silly. Warpsa silly. I am probably being kind of silly by writing data structures in Rust. Yes. What am I explaining? So far, nothing. I'm just reading something from Rust by example. This is me just hurting myself by implementing a set of data structures in Rust. Today we're going to do ArrayList. So that should be fun. And that's part of what we're doing. So let's go back to the code. So far things are looking pretty good. Okay, so this is the part I actually don't know how to do. Like, I know that my type is going to be something like this. ArrayList is not a linked list. So Right. I think this is helpful. Thank you for asking that question. Let's go ahead and define, because different languages have different names for things, and even though like this is more, I don't know if it's a standardized way of talking about it. So let's define what an array list is. So this is a TypeScript example of ArrayList. All right. And mostly what is an array list? It is what I'm going to call a wrapper that uses arrays under the hood. And then Soundle, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Uses arrays under the hood. We're going to keep track of index head, of length, index of head / tail. That's internal. I don't know why I'm doing this as a space. It's because, no, it does want me to do it as a space. It's very confusing. All right, it's fine. Give me 1 second. Oh, no. That's not right. Okay. Sorry. So ArrayList is a wrapper that uses an array under the head. You would probably need to go unsafe with owning pointers for generics. Yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. Treat like a stack in that push pop access. Right. So then we need push pop access has O of 1. So these are just kind of like some basics of what we're going to do for an array list. And then NQ DQ has O of N. And ideally our constructor specifies initial size if possible. That will be interesting to see if we can make that work. So we'll see. Maybe we want to wrap our inner array in an optional in an option. I'm thinking that might be what I want to do. Constructor specifies initial size. Okay, so I think that's the main thing. So the main point is that an array list is more convenient than an array, because instead of like an array is just like a fixed size memory buffer, you can modify it right in place, but you can't grow it, right? And every time if you need more elements in an array, you're going to have to add more to it, right? So that's part of why people use an array list. I believe the closest native thing we have to that in Rust is a vector, but I could be wrong. We'll see. We'll see. We're gonna get into that after this. So we have this length usize. And that's fine for now. And then we have our inner array. And so I'm already questioning this part. I actually don't know that inner is always going to have this as, or obviously it's not always going to have that same signature. So that might be more what you're talking about too. Yeah. It'll be a little interesting. Owning pointer, so that's probably what you mean by owning pointers for generics. That might be the problem here. If I have to, I will, for the sake of not having to go to unsafe. I'm not as worried about having like the absolutely technically correct implementation as much as something that looks like the technically correct implementation, because I feel like that's more, the concept is more important. I'm not actually trying to make a more performant array list than somebody who's you know, like than the standard library or something like that creates. So that's definitely part of it. So we might have to go with a slice or something. I don't know if this is going to work. But let's just see what crazy things it tells me that I'm doing wrong. I often forget how things work because, again, I'm a noob, man. I'm just a noob, okay? I'm trying my best here. So I'm gonna go back into something I just wrote so that I can remember how this actually works. So give me 1 second while I find that file. That's in atomic server source files, and it is a const. Okay. So I have these inner const things, but that doesn't make sense to me. There's something obvious, I feel like, that I'm missing. And maybe this is obvious to everyone else and why no one does this. But basically I need access to a private mutable value here. You can still get panic with vec by using index that's larger than its size, so they probably use unsafe too. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I could, of course, like a vec is probably the closest thing to like a JavaScript array is some way I would put it. I don't know, I haven't written JavaScript in a while. So it's definitely true. I'm just trying to think how this works. Let's do it this way. Let's jump into, again, I don't pre-think these things. I just try things out. So that's pros and cons. Let's see if we can't get some of this into a REPL and see what it tells me, because that would help me a little bit. Let's see, let our option, I don't think this is gonna work. Constant provided when a type, expressions must be to be used as const generic arguments. Okay, so what is the, because you'd kind of have to know. Oh yeah, no, that's true. Let me just think about this. Slices can be used to borrow a section of an array and have the type signature and /t and straight brace t. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's kind of what you're going for, and this is why it's not going to work, is I'd have to use unsafe in order to point to this. How can I have got so comfortable in my world of just writing Rust code. Let's see. How can I have a private value in instruct? You like my stream layout? Thanks. I'm not great at it, but I try. Oh my god, I just asked how to have a private field in a struct, and that's not what I meant. I meant when in the impl of a struct. Oh, I guess that is true, right? You just... Oh, did I really think about this really, really dumbly? I think I did. I think I thought about this stupidly, didn't I? Oh my god. Okay. Okay, it won't fix my type problem, but it is kind of silly that I forgot. I'm so used to... I work in Clojure, like for my normal job, Soundle. So we don't exactly have all of these tools at our disposal. So let's just say our inner is option, and it's technically this, but the problem is I don't know what the size is, and I'm thinking that's what's going to screw me up, is not knowing what the size is. Thanks that you like my playlist too. VLC, by the way, you know, streaming it on VLC, or playing it on VLC. It's I was playing like these Spotify playlists that are supposed to be Twitch friendly for a while, and I just got kind of tired of the music, and so I decided to just license some music from some artists that I liked, and you know, I'll continue to download new songs hopefully to it and get more licensed music played. So even though I'm just, you know, a noob streamer, I thought it would be fun just to have something different. And then that way, since it's actually licensed, I can put it on YouTube if I really wanted to. I don't have a YouTube. I don't really want to, but you know, I could if I wanted to. So that's kind of cool. And the artists get paid, which is nice. Okay. So I like this. I think mostly, like, what does it hate about the fact that this comments at the top? File not included in module tree. Well, yeah, I know that. I know I haven't included it. Really? So you just need me to include it here just to be happy? So I need to say mod ArrayList. Is that what you want? I guess that's what you want from me. Okay, that's fine. I can do that. Okay, now it's gonna say this isn't a real thing. The traits, okay. The option type. The size for values of type T cannot be known at compilation time. The trait size is not implemented for T. So this is like the problem that I'm gonna run into. Which makes me kind of want to implement like a fake array that's really just a wrapper over vec. That doesn't allow you to change anything. But like, do I want to go through that whole process versus having to thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm just wondering if I want to have, I mean, I know this isn't a valid type, and a slice isn't a valid type for me to use in this way. So how do I actually want to do this? I either have to use a vec, which of course would be the easiest, is if I just, but then it's too easy to cheat as well. And so that's the part that I hate about it. But it might be the path of least resistance. Because I'm essentially writing an ArrayList implementation on top of an ArrayList if I just use vec underneath. So it's either that or I implement my own fake array, which since Rust doesn't have anything called array, I can just name it this. Teeny, hey, thanks for coming. We're doing some data structures. I've been promising it. I already regret it. Writing this in a language that is not Rust or C or something like that is a lot fucking easier, but we're just gonna try this. But other than that, and me just realizing that I'm way in over my head here, it's going well. It's going well. Thanks for coming. I am kind of interested in just creating my own type on top of vec. Maybe I'll just new type vec. How funny would that be? If I just new typed vec and called it an array, and then type array equals vec. Okay. I think what I can do is say, I believe this works. I haven't new typed a generic before. Can I just do type array t equals vec_t and then I can pretend I'm using an array under the hood? I don't hate it. I don't hate it exactly. So yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do for now, and see how far we get. What don't you like about this? The size for values of type T. Oh no, that's what I just fixed, man. Okay, leave me alone. Yeah, I think this is what I'm gonna try. Yes, it's not a true array, and it's sad because, of course, Rust has true arrays, but I'd have to go into unsafe in order to actually use an array as a field on my type, as far as I understand it. And if somebody says, no, you can do it this other way, you know, let me know. That's great. That's great. If there's some other great option, I'm here for it. But for now, we're gonna roll with this, and we're just gonna pretend. We're gonna pretend that the only thing we can do with this array is initialize it. All we can do is get length and not grow this. That's what we're gonna do. But I've never gone unsafe, Soundle. I'm scared. I'm scared to go into the realm of unsafe. Okay. How can I get a pointer to? Should we ask GPT how to do this, since I've never done this? Okay. Let's talk about this. This is the right way to do this. Okay, so that I don't get too frustrated. We're going to have the success of implementing this array list using a vector under the hood, and then we'll refactor it to go unsafe. How does that sound? We're going to learn about the data structure by itself, and then we're going to implement it properly. Thanks, Teeny. I knew you'd go with the past path of least resistance. No. All right. Let's try it out. Cannot find type T in this scope. Okay, did I do this wrong? End scene. Oh God, no, you're right. Oh, thank you. It's nice that you told me that. I was like, what does this mean? Yes, thank you. I am the worst at that, so please, hopefully I actually see chat. The worst part is I don't have any audio notifications set up from chat, which I probably should. Like, people should be able to like send me a ping from chat and be like, change the fucking scene already. What are you doing? But yeah, I'll go on for like 15 minutes when nobody's around and I have one viewer who's, I guess, just lurking, right? And then I'll be like, oh, nobody cares about me. But yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's great. Does it do anything when you do scene? Like, does it like ping the guy and be like, what are you doing? I don't have any cool bots, so I haven't done anything like that yet. Okay. Oh, a type that is composed of other types. I didn't know what a struct was. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So where are we at? Did I do this wrong? This whole generic struct thing? Do I just say struct ArrayList? No, that can't be true. Cannot find type T in the scope. Okay. Is this not how you do a generic? Am I crazy? Okay. How do I make a struct generic? All right, here we go. That's what I did. Why does it hate me? Struct my generic struct T. Yeah, okay. We'll just keep going and pretend that this is just crazy. It makes the plain warning sound. That's awesome. That is so great. I have not wanted to, compiler might tell you. What are you talking about? No, I'm just kidding. All right. PagerDuty, don't you know I'm trying to stream? Gosh, freaking PagerDuty. Just kidding. All right. Does anybody else love PagerDuty? Do they love it as much as I do? I mean, it is actually a fairly nice, it's a fairly nice system compared to, like, you know, whatever. It just gets a little bit silly when I'm literally the only one on the schedule anymore, but that's okay. That's just work problems. PagerDuty? No? You don't know what that is? It's okay. You're better off, Teeny. If you don't know what PagerDuty is, you are better off. How long are my streams? Between 1 hour and 3 hours. Today, because I got started a little bit late, it will probably we'll probably end more like at 1.5. So I'm thinking, you know, that'd be 4:10 for me, 9:10 UTC if I did that math correctly. But yeah, hour to 2 hours. Sundays I get a little bit longer usually. I have less going on. Been trying to stream 4 days ish a week. Usually try to say but when my next stream will be on the previous one. Unless all hell breaks loose, I should be streaming tomorrow. In general, I start between 1:30 to 3 my time, which is UTC -5, so 6:30 to 8 p.m. UTC. So yeah. Have you written a lot of Rust, Soundle? Sounds like you know a little bit about Rust. Impl T array. Oh yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's definitely true. I knew there was something different about the whole when I got into the impl phase. Why do you hate everything that I do? Associated function. Oh, it's dead code. I know it's dead code. I haven't written anything. Just give me time. Let the man cook, Rust. Gosh. All right. Okay, so a couple things is we want to say length is use size. I know I want to do this, right? We're doing a little new. We're going to let them specify the length. And then we're going to say what are we going to say? That's the real question. I believe what we're going to say is ArrayList, something like this. Oh yeah, and we have to have a type parameter, don't we? Okay, let's think about this. I haven't done a constructor with a type parameter before. I guess no, that's not going to work. How do I get them to just pass me the type? I have a feeling that it's in the constructor thing. You're decent in oh yeah. Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, Rust is definitely the, you could say it's the most complicated language I've learned. I have, in my last 5 years, I've written Clojure, pretty much just Clojure, which is nice. No, I know I could do that, but that doesn't help me. That's not what I want. I don't want that. They're not going to pass me a value. When they're constructing, well, are they going to pass me a value? No. We're not going to let them pass me a value. We're just going to have a new with a length. I think we're going to enforce, should we enforce that they pass me a length, or maybe we just don't have an initial length? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay. I mean, that's really fucking obvious. I'm really mad that that's what they gave me. Okay. What if my constructor takes no arguments? I mean, I'm sure that's confusing. I can still just do this. Oh, so I don't really even have to. What malarkey is this? Okay. Did ChatGPT just make this up? Let's find out. Let's find out. I think they might have. I'm back to coding. Look at me. Okay. So we're looking pretty good here. We're gonna say length. Oh, but that's the problem. Oh no, we're gonna just do none? No, that doesn't make sense either. Are we gonna do none? I think we might actually just do none. Okay. And usually you would initialize this with like a basic length, because why is somebody going to initialize an array list with and then not add items to it right away? Which I guess we can do. So length is length. Wait, I'm being dumb. We can just do that. And then inner is, oh yeah, this is where the option doesn't exactly make sense. Give me a second. Do we want to initialize it with the value of array to start with? Or do we want to do it when they push the first object? Let's just do it now. I mean, if we're going to enforce a length parameter, then I guess we can just do it now. The reason I'm enforcing a length parameter is because I don't know how, because Rust doesn't have, what's it called? Not parametric polymorphism, that's generics. The other type of polymorphism. I think sometimes maybe people call it isomorphic. I can't remember the term. The Java type. Java has both. But the point is, I can't just do another new with a different thing. So, but maybe how does Vec do it then? Am I just like spacing like big time? All right, let's look at Vec docs real quick and see how they do it. Because I don't remember. We'll make this rusty. How about that? All right. So yeah, Soundle, this is what I do. I go down a lot of rabbit trails. I look into a lot of things that you're just like, why is he spending so much time on this? And this is what I do. So be prepared. Be prepared. Okay. Yep. A continuous growable array type written as vect. This is very ArrayList language, by the way, in case anybody's wondering. Very ArrayList. Okay. Okay, so we have okay, that's what they do. They use a vec macro if you want to initialize it with values. I remember that a little bit. You can do vec from, that's nice. But what's this? Vec new. But there's some way, isn't there a way of initializing your vector with a length? I thought there was. Oh, it's with capacity. Yep. Yep. So they give you the macro version and they have a with capacity. Okay. In that case, let's just initialize. Okay. Yeah, let's take this out for now. And this is going to return ArrayList. Okay. Right, the length of it, right, that is correct. You are absolutely right, Armadillo Rancher. So that's the difference. Oh, I'm still on that. So that's kind of the difference between your public length, right, versus like your inner data structure. So and you probably already know this. I'm just talking through it in case other people don't, and for my own benefit. So like our inner right here, which is our private value, which actually holds our values in this whole data structure. When I am doing the with capacity 5, let's just say, that's going to like give me a chance to set my inner array to 5. So if I was doing this like a good person, and I was initializing this with values, and I knew what the length was, right? Then I might do the whole array like syntax, whatever, right? I mean, obviously you don't have to do that in Rust, but the point is, like with capacity, if I was using an actual array, right, and it was supposed to be 5, I would do something like that. And then that way I have this inner array. This is a true array as in a contiguous portion of memory. And then you don't have to change the length in the future. So yeah, you're absolutely right. But even if I did this, my length here, is still 0. And maybe that's also what you were pointing out, that my original implementation was still actually wrong, which is correct. So if that's what you're pointing out, you're right. You're right about it all. So yeah, we'd still say length is 0, right? Because we haven't actually put any values according to the user of our data structure here. So no matter what at initialization, unless you're initializing with values, ArrayList.length is going to be 0. So I could do something like this, except I can't, right? Because this requires a type here, and I can't have a special generic, primitive array type here. That's why we're just pretending. We're pretending with our vec. So let's do this. I think I already decided that I'm going to start with like a default length of 5 for our inner. And so in that case, our vector, let's think through this real quick. Just give me a second. We're getting there. So in that case, our array t will just be our inner. We'll just roll with that for a second. Okay. So obviously we can't do this. Now, if this was a real array, and maybe this is how I want to do it because I'm going to pretend it's a real array, then I would do something like this, in that I would initialize it with these values, and it would be 5. And so I think that's actually what I'm going to do, because it's going to be the closest to using a real array without actually having to use a real array. So we'll just use the vec macro, which is, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. We'll see if we can get away with that. So let's think. Length 0, we're just going to initialize with a default of 5. So if we wanted to like match vex with capacity, that's when we could do something like this. And I actually have no idea how to do this in the real realm, but essentially we're still going to say length 0, and our inner is going to be what I would usually do, like in JavaScript it'd be array.fill. In Clojure we have our own way of doing that. Since we already have the vec docs up, let's just see if they have like a convenience function for doing this based on provided length. Insert Leaklen new in. We'll get there. We'll get there. Setland shrink 2. Can I just, we might, methods from gref, there we go, fill. Look at that. I knew there was something. Fill self with elements by cloning value. Okay, okay. Buff.fill1. And then that actually fills the whole thing. Okay, that works. All right. So then, and fill doesn't actually return anything. this does require that T implements clone. So there is like that kind of problem there, but I mean, I'm okay with that. That you have to implement clone. Let me think. Am I really okay with having to implement clone? I think so. No, let's just leave this on. Oh no, did I do it again? No, okay. It was close though, right? I just finished. I didn't actually write any code yet. I think what I've decided is I'm not gonna implement with capacity for now. Yeah, how about that? Another plot twist. Okay, so we have our inner array filled with values. We're starting with an inner array of 5 elements, and our public length is 0. This looks good. So then the next thing we need to do after new. Oh God, Teeny, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. I'm really dumb. I'm really dumb sometimes. Fora, thanks for the follow. Welcome. We're gonna be here a while. Not necessarily today, but in general. Because here I am implementing a generic array list, and then I'm filling my inner array with zeros. Oh wow. That is very fun. That is very fun. Yeah, how the fuck am I gonna do this? What would be the right thing to do? I mean, in some ways I'd want to call, like, I'd want to say, you have to implement default, right? And then we're just gonna fill this with default values. Interesting. Default's not the worst idea. Do numbers have defaults by default? I would think so. Yeah, okay. I was just making sure. Okay. Let's just say you have to implement default. I think that's reasonable. Alright. Wow. Okay, so then we're just gonna call default on it. So let's x equals t. No, that's not gonna work. I have to call it over and over again, don't I? So let's just say t default. I'm gonna guess this is gonna be a 3B. Let's see if I'm right. Nope, it was a 4B. Bummer. All right, we'll just use visual mode. It'll be a lot easier. Let me just delete the shit out of this. And then let's go forward. Wait, I need a comma. Let's get out of here. Let's do a little comma. Let's do a little space. And yank, that's probably going to include that stupid thing, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. You guys get to really watch me struggle right now. Just because I don't want to use my mouse. No! That's what I meant to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Is that a little bit ugly? Yes. Are we just gonna roll with it? Absolutely. Absolutely we are. Okay, so then at this point the compiler's going to say, but you didn't say that you just mean I need to do this. You didn't say that T implements default. Yep, okay. So then we want to say this implements default. I think that's all we have to do. And now what is it saying? Dead code. We know about dead code. Okay. What do we think about our constructor implementation now? I think we're pretty close. I think that looks okay. We have our defaults. We're there. If we wanted to, we could vec default. There was. You're absolutely right. Why did I do it this way is really what you're asking me. It's a good question. Why did I do it this way? I did it this way partly. Wait, fill with default. I could also use fill with for default. And then T doesn't even have to be clone. Ooh. That is a little bit nicer. Buff vec1 0 10. Okay. Yeah, we could do that. I mean, essentially, okay, so that's basically what the vec macro does. Let's look at the vec macro again. Maybe I didn't understand what the vec macro does. I mean, part of the reason I wanted to do it that way was like for an array initialization to be a little bit more closer to what you would do for an array. But I don't actually know, like, is there a nice macro to initialize an array? I'm not 100% sure. So, right. So this is the same thing as initializing it like this. Right. With the vec macro. So is there really a difference between what I was doing? It's even funnier that I bothered initializing it with 0, 0, 0, 0 when I could have just done that, kind of. Well, that's an array. That is interesting that they do like an equal, even though initializing a vector of zeros. Isn't this an array? Okay, let's find out. That's why we have this nice little REPL over here. Type. Yeah, it is an array. Right? And that's a vec integer. Okay, I was just making sure I wasn't crazy. It's like, do I even know Rust at all? Okay, good deal. That's not terrible. All right. Okay. So technically we could do a default. Did they have like a you're saying that they might have like a default length? Oh, right, that's how I could do that. Oh yeah. No, I see what you're saying. I'm being dumb. No, I think you're right that I'm being dumb. I mean, that's not surprising, right? Are we surprised? Utilities for the, okay, let's look at the array primitive type real quick. I just want this to be as close to using an array as possible. I don't know why. Why should I care? I don't really know. I don't really know. Okay, okay. I don't see... Okay, so they do... Okay. Oh, obviously. Obviously. We're just doing this little 0-3. So it's very, very close to using an array. So actually using that, that is even closer to how we would do this if we were writing unsafe. Good call out. Good call out, Teeny. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so let's try this again, guys. And we'll delete all this shit. And we'll go with a 5. Oh no, yeah, thank you. Good job. Gonna have to hire Teeny just to be here to do that for me. Alright. Okay, so that's, and if we were implementing an array, we would just have everything but that vec macro. So that's nice. I'm gonna hire you with 10%. I will give you 10% of my streaming revenue in order to tell me when I don't switch scenes. You don't like t.dball? Okay. It's kind of rude, but I understand. Does it have to be a primitive? I think that might be it. The trait bound T clone is not satisfied. The trait clone is not implemented for T, so you have to have a clone. Okay, that's fine. We're adding to our requirements of our type, but that's okay. You know that 10% is just a huge number right now. Considering my streaming revenue is negative, I guess actually you'd have to pay me, which, you know, that's cool. You're only listening in the background. Oh yeah, it's cool. You're good, Soundle. You got it. You got it. You're just listening to me kind of like hit a wall, realizing I'm dumb, hitting another wall, realizing I'm dumb, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah, streaming revenue is definitely negative at the moment, which is, you know, I mean, I'm not even an affiliate, so how could it be positive, right? I don't have sponsors, surprisingly. You know, I don't know why. I told them, yeah, maybe there is an average of 1.9 viewers over the last 30 hours of streaming, but they are quality viewers. They don't get it. People just care about quantity over quality. No, yeah, I haven't been a noob in a long time, Soundle. This is the truth. And so when I started streaming, I don't know, a month ago or so, I decided to, like, it was like this new learning arc, right? Which I go through these cycles of like kind of like chilling, coasting, and then learning. That's how I work. You know, I know big streamer Prime, he's all about momentum. It's not how I work. I just don't, like, momentum's fine, works for some people, doesn't work for me. That's like, momentum is like, actually, it's exciting, but it will always lead me to burnout. And also my life circumstances just don't work with like, oh, I just got to keep up this momentum all the time. If I do that, then I'm not there. I'm not a good dad or partner or, you know, all those kinds of things. So anyway, you know, the more you know, right? No, but my real point is, Yeah, I had to get really used to in the last month, like being a noob, and so sometimes I probably still have bad stories about it. Like, you know, I'm learning something, I feel stupid, you know, all those kinds of things, hitting walls. Yeah, it's a good call out. Thanks. Thank you. Okay. So we've got our new array list. We have our inner initialized. We have our length initialized. We're going to want other things here, but for now, I think this is fine. We're going to realize the other values we want as we continue our I'm getting there. Just give me a second. Implementation. Yeah. It's a hard word to say. So we're just going to continue with the TypeScript interface that the Kata machine gives us. I did void. That's funny. I don't have to specify the type, it's unit, right? I just have to remember. Okay, so actually what I'm going to do to make sure I don't return anything, it'll tell me. The compiler will help me. The compiler will help me out there. I don't have to specify. If I try to return something, it'll be like, no, you didn't specify your return type. Okay. So we have a prepend. We're going to have an insert at. Okay, we're not getting ahead of ourselves. Let's start with prepend. Okay. And then we'll probably have to add some things to our struct, add some things to our init from this learning. Okay, so the main thing is that, let me remember how this works. To prepend, that's adding to the beginning. That's an O of n operation, no matter what. So that's actually not where we want to start. So since it returns unit, I don't have to do anything yet. So let's start with append, because it's going to show us where we're wrong in our implementation so far. So when we append something to this list, there's a few things that we do. Obviously, our inner data structure has a certain length to it, and then our outer data structure has a certain length as well, right? So the first thing is you might want to remember this. That's a little important. We actually need the item itself, if I'm not wrong, because we're going to have to update, and it's not just that, it's going to have to be mute. Maybe I can do a mutable reference here. We'll try that out and see if the compiler yells at us. Maybe I can do a mutable reference and still get what I want. So before we forget, the very first thing we're going to do is update our outer length. So this is just going to be self.length equals self.length plus 1. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is actually add the thing to our inner data structure. So this already shows me that I've screwed something up, because like, how do I know what I've actually added to my inner data structure, right? And so that's when we say, okay, Michael, you keep hitting the wrong keys. That's what we say now. So we're going to say head, and head is going to just be, actually we're going to do tail. Did the video freeze? Did it? Are you frozen? Oh no, it did. No, it's there. It's working. It's working on my end. Only for you. Oh god. You're scaring me. You're scaring me. Alright. Teeny. We're gonna have to talk about your percentage. I'm gonna have to talk about your percentage that you're getting off this stream now. You just scared me. Hazard pay on my end. That kickback that you're giving me for helping me out is gonna have to go up a little bit. All right. Okay. No, it's all good. Okay, so we're gonna say tail because that's mostly what we care about. We know that inserting at the head is gonna be O of n. We're gonna start putting, you'll figure it out. I won't talk through it all. It'll make more sense if I just actually code it. How about that? So let's just call it a use size for now. I might change my mind that that's a bad idea. And right now we have nothing in here, right? So our tail is actually 0. So there's that. Let me just think. Is this how I want to do it? I think so. I think so. Somebody might come in and say, that's not an array list, man. I'll say, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. For multiple reasons. But this should work. Let's think about it. Opened. Wow, I created a new phrase. Opened. Append. Adding to the end is O of 1, so that's why we care about tail. Removing from the end is O of 1, right? It's the whole push pop thing. Basically stack, right? Prepend, adding to the beginning is O of n, and getting from the beginning is O of n. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. I think tail is the right answer. Okay, so self.length equals self.length plus 1, and then we care about the inner. So what can we do? We've already said self.length. Okay, let's just do it this way. If self.tail, let me think about this. I want to say if self.tail, and that's the index. Actually, no, that would work too. Okay, because I have length, right? So if I say if inner dot length, since it's a vec, that's all we do, right? It's technically a vec. If inner dot len is that right? Is that right? Am I crazy? Let a equals vec. Let's just say 0. And I switched over to my REPL here, so that's what's going on. So a should just be a vec of 0, and then it's a dot len like that, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm not crazy. Okay, so if inner dot len is less than self dot length, now that I incremented it, right? Then we're going to need a whole function that does something, right? I haven't so far labeled these functions public and private, but I will need to do that as well. So if inner.len is less than self.length, then we're going to need a new array, right? We're going to need a new inner array. So let's just comment that right now. Need new inner of greater length. Okay. We'll leave that for a second here. Otherwise, we can just go ahead and it's going to be nice. It's going to be real nice. And we can just say inner self.tail plus 1 equals item. Let's think about this. Okay. I forgot the self. Okay. So as long as we have capacity on our inner array, we can just add the item to the inner array. So self.tail plus 1, let's just do it this way. That's all right. I thought of something where this isn't the right way I want to do it, but it's fine. That's just if we have to change the capacity, but that will become clear later. Okay. Self.tail plus 1. Yeah, let's just say let I equals self.tail plus 1. And then we can go here and say I. And then we can say self.tail equals I. Okay. So we got our new tail. We added the item at that index of our new tail. And we have self.tail equals I. We could test this by adding 5 elements to this array and see if we got a panic. So we could try that. Is this a linked list? People love to ask that question. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for the chat, Johnner. It was a probably not great sarcasm. This is not a linked list. No, I realize it's not even there. It's an array list. So we're implementing an array list right now. Haven't done linked list yet. That'll come. That'll come. Linked lists, for some reason, linked lists to me, I will probably eat these words, especially in Rust and borrowing. But linked lists are really, really easy to me. I understand them. I can implement them. It's no problem. But like, sometimes these other things, like it just takes a little bit more thinking. But yeah, array lists are pretty simple, right? This is like our first one. So yeah, I know I shouldn't have said that out loud on stream, right? I shouldn't. Nested linked lists. God. What about trees? Yeah, we're gonna do it all. This is part 1, guys. It's part 1. We're starting with something easy. We're gonna try to do all of it. Every single data structure you've ever heard of, we're gonna do. No, I'm just kidding. But we're gonna do quite a few. So what's on the docket? Let's see. How did I find that? What did we do? What did we do to find this? I think we did this. Yeah, it's over here. Let's make that bigger. So some of these are algorithms, some of these are data structures, but for the most part, we're going to try to do all of these. Why does that say .ts? Because this is based off of an open source Kata machine that's implemented in TypeScript. So I'm just using that as a guide. So that's what all the TS is there for. So we're going to use those as a guide. We're going to use the interfaces they provide, and we're probably also going to use the tests that they provide. And so we're gonna implement our tests according to. We're basically just going to port this whole project, if you will, outside of the actual Kata machine to do it. So yeah, I mean, there might be other things I have to work on. We'll see. I have been doing a bunch of open source stuff. And by a bunch, I mean one issue that took me like a month on stream. So you can go back in history. I mean, I don't pay for the Twitch Plus thing that gives you 60 days of history, but you know, it's been there, you know. I mean, I have a job, right? You know, so I have to do things. Speaking of that job, I have 2 Slack messages I haven't read. Let me just make sure those aren't important. Is that Prime's Kata machine? I don't know who you're talking about. Who's Prime? Just kidding. Yes, it's Prime's. It's based off Prime's. It's just a customer issue. Doesn't matter. It did not change the logic. Customers just want everything, you know? No, I work in B2B SaaS, so, you know, sometimes, yeah, it does not matter. Yeah, it's not important. Believe me. It's, yeah, I know. Unfortunately, our eng team is, well, I'm not going to tell you the size, but it's mostly me. So at this point, and so like a lot of issues are my issue, which is sad. Sad time. You know, but you know, then I get to be more of like, I'm not actually a CTO, I'm just an engineer, but because we're in the US, we have to call ourselves engineers. I forgot where I was at, but yeah, basically, what was I gonna say? Basically I get to be kind of like the CTO that says, oh, actually that's not engineering's responsibility, that's support's responsibility. Customer success is gonna have to own this one. So yeah. It's fun times. I do miss the days of having a larger team and just being like a back-end developer, and that's all I did, and that was my day-to-day. So that's it. Yeah, I think if I said that, my CEO would just be like, oh, actually eng is now it's now reporting to customer support. No, he wouldn't do that. He doesn't want me to leave. Okay, so we got append. We got our happy case, which is like we didn't have to increase the size of our array at all. Now we need our unhappy case. We need our sad case. So this makes me think, let me just make sure I'm not totally crazy. Yeah, I'm not. We're good. We're good. I'm not totally crazy. We just need to mark some things as public. Scene. See, Teeny, you're freaking excellent at it. You're so good at it. All right. Oh God. Okay. My stream income is going to be a lot more in the negative coming up here because I am really tired of these cheap ass headphones hurting my ears. The sound quality is fine, mostly because they're running through a DAW, but like, wow. I really need something that's more comfortable for when I'm doing, now that I'm, you know, actually doing like hours of streaming or whatever. What don't you like about this? Cannot find, oh my God. I love forgetting that. It's my favorite. Okay, so we have pub function append. We'll leave our constructor up there, and we're going to create a, let me just do this because it's bugging the crap out of me for it to not be labeled public. I probably should just delete it because it keeps distracting me. Excuse me. Okay, so here I'm thinking we just want to create a private function that increases the length of our array. Increase inner. It's such a dumb, let's say grow. I think grow makes a little bit more sense. It's probably more what you would call it, right? Let's grow together, guys. We're all growing. We're growing together. Okay, sorry. So we're gonna grow inner, and do we want to give it a number? It's always gonna be 5, basically, right? Like why do it? You're about to find out, Johnner. We're gonna grow together right now. And so there's a couple things. We want to say let I equals, so technically we're using a vector, right? But we're pretending it's not a vec. We're pretending that it's a true array, that the only thing we can do with it is get the length out of it. We can't, because if I'm implementing ArrayList on top of vec, then I'm stupid, because a vec is basically an ArrayList, right? So I said I. that's gonna be, let's just call it prev. Let's start there. Did I forget a little something? Just maybe I need this to be an and mute. And okay, so we have self.enter, which is good. And what we want is, I'm getting there. You just give me a second. Okay, so we're trying to make this as close to as possible as if we were using a real array. So, what I want is to do basically what would be a mem copy, right? But it's not called mem copy, of course, in this case. And I don't exactly know the syntax to do this with a real array in Rust. I'm wondering. I mean, of course I could do a for Rust copy. That'd be so great if it was. All right, let's ask some GPT to see how you do it in an array versus a vector. How about that? All right. We're going to say, how do you copy all values of one array into another? All right. Okay. So you have your source array. So you can do a clone from slice. Okay, that's reasonable. I get that. So you can do clone from slice or copy from slice. Right, which you could do based on if your inner type, the T, implements clone or copy. And what does this do? Source array to vec, and then you could do a target vec n2. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, how about for vector? I know it's gonna say you just clone the fucking vector. What's your problem? But that's not the answer that I'm looking for. How do you copy all your how can I copy values from one vector to another, to a new vector? Why did I'm so bad at English sometimes that it just hurts me. Oh yeah, no, it's not safe enough for Rust. You can't just mem copy shit. No, I mean, I don't know everything about Rust. Maybe there's an unsafe method to do it, but in general, no. I called it. Clone called it. All right, using two. All right, so we're just trying to get something close to how you do it for an array. Okay, I hate you for doing this. There's gotta be something. Yeah, Jippity. So yeah, thanks, Teeny. Yeah, we talked about this already. We're not gonna go unsafe yet. Okay, Safety is important. Okay. Let's jump over here and look at vector docs. Let's jump to vec here. Vec as slice. Okay. Okay. I get that. From Lee bytes. Was that on array? Yeah, I'm not surprised. Let's see what it's. Was that on array? I didn't see it. But yeah. What is this emoji sound? Oh, you have all the emojis. Oh no, it doesn't even tell me. It's just, it looks like a baguette. Oh shit, I have to go soon. This is unfortunate. Okay, what were we really doing? We were looking on vec. Okay. Clear, sure. Extend, sure. Extend from slice, that's like craziness. Clones and appends all elements in a slice to the vec. Yeah, it's pretty fucking close to what I want. Vec.extend from slice gives me a 2, 3, 4. I don't want to extend from slice though. Copies elements from source range to the end of the vector. No, that's not what I want either. Okay. Insert into box slice, into flattened. I mean, granted, the thing that I'm doing is a little bit weird. Least Indian baguette joke. Nice. I'm not smart enough for that joke. It did say clone from slice. That was for arrays, right? Wasn't that for arrays? I was saying I could clone it from a slice. Yeah, I think that was for arrays. We're not using unsafe yet. No, we're waiting. We're pretending like we can make this nicer before we go and do this for real. We're faking. This is whiteboarding right here. You know, we're just gonna pretend this works because I'm proving that I know something. Okay. I've been really proving that I know shit, right? Extend from within. What does this even do? Copies elements from source range to the end of the vector. Okay, yes. Oh, okay. How the fuck did you know to just go to 4? Do I not remember how ranges work? I don't think I understand. It doesn't matter. That's not what I want. Okay. Okay. What's leak? I just have to know. Consumes and leaks the vec. Oh. Data that lives for the remainder of the program's life. Dropping the return reference will cause a memory leak. Ah, yeah, cool. Yeah, basically it leaks memory. That's basically it, man. You're just leaking it. Okay, spare capacity. Returns the remaining spare capacity of the vector as a slice of maybe... Oh, that's cool. That's neat. Okay, anyway. Where are we at? No. New in. What's new in do? New in. Nightly only. I'm not using nightly. Okay. It's like some allocation thing. The example with extend to... Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're probably right. I'm guessing it's because it obeys the capacity of the vec. Yeah, you could be right, Teeny. Pop push with capacity. Remove. Oh, this is cool. Push within capacity. Isn't that smart? Like if you wanted to be like more performant. That's neat. I like that. Nice special methods on this little array list. See, when you understand like how this actually works, it makes more sense, right? When you understand that, you know, pretending we were actually using unsafe and we were implementing this for real, push within capacity makes a lot of sense. Remove, resize, retain, set len, shrink 2 fit, spare capacity mute, splice, split at spare mute. Imagine putting push within capacity on like a JavaScript type, or you know, type, you know what I mean? Data structure. People would lose their minds. Sorry. That was a dig at JavaScript developers. I'm sorry. I have a love for JavaScript too. It's how I got into coding to begin with. It was an easy entry point. It's just a terrible, terrible language. Okay. Splice, split off, swap, remove, truncate. Truncate's just to write shorten. Yeah. Sometimes you forget what things mean. Methods from dref. Dref has been my friend so far. Let's see. Dref gave me something nice. We have a concat. Flattens a slice of t into a single self output. So many methods, I know. Vector is a thick abstraction, right? A lot of things you can use. Flattens a slice of t into a single value self output. So join. No, that doesn't help me. Dot concat hello world 1 2 3 4 dot concat. Copy from slice. That's close. Copies all elements from source into self using a mem copy. Boom. Okay, but the length of source must be the same as self, and I want to increase the length. That's the whole effing point. Like, why aren't you giving me... No. Rust seems great if you get paid by the hour. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, right? Copies all elements from source into self. The length of source must be the same as self, but I don't want that. So that's a mem copy. And of course we can use we would have to use clone. We're already doing clone. Clone from slice. Also requires length. Okay. Ooh, is there some other nice clone? What's copy within do? Copies elements from one part of the slice into another part of the slice. Ooh, a little mem move. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool trick for a little little performance deal. Okay, so let's do this. Copy from slice mentioned mem copy. So let's look. Is that really our only mem copy? Oh, you're hurting me. Yeah, we might have to just move it. It's true. It's true. We looked at fill. Okay, so in reality, we would do something different here, right? We would do a type of mem copy. I think we're gonna have to do this in safe rest. We're gonna have to do this a different way. Okay, let's just do it a naive way. Write it out, and then I need to go. How does that sound? Scene. I got it. All right. Now I have Teeny's imagined voice in my ear saying scene. Even though I don't know what Teeny sounds like. All right. All right, so we have self.enter is our prev. We have our new, just put to do. And then you're done, right? And then you never have to do it. You just put to do. So many to-dos in our code base at work. It's hilarious. People who haven't been at our company for like 5 years. To do this thing. It's like, yeah, you never did though. You never did. Okay. So a couple things. We're going to create a new vec. We're going to say t default. And we are going to set the length to prev.len plus 5. This would probably be a nice time if you weren't sure you wanted to do 5 to like go up here and like name it a const or something, but I'm not going to right now. Okay, so we have our new, we have our prev. 5 just because I started with 5. So since I'm initializing, I initialized the array, the inner array with 5. And now I'm just gonna grow my inner array by 5 again. And so the next thing that we want to do is copy all of the things from prev to new. So we could do something like for, what is it? For I n 0 ... prev, does this work? I don't remember. Prevlen. Let's see if this works. We'll just keep going. Yeah, 5, 10, 15. It doesn't, it's kind of arbitrary. Like I could just say, what I could do is like create a const here, right? That's like grow size. And I can set it to whatever. It could be 1 if you really want to, but then every single time you add an element to your array list, then you're gonna have to do an entire mem copy again, right? And a potentially expensive operation. Why you don't multiply by a factor instead of adding? Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I think a factor is reasonable. You could do a ×2, you know? I mean, it is kind of funny to think like if you were adding a like, you know, a bunch of elements in your vector or, you know, your array list like ended up being thousands of elements, you're having to do this every single time. So okay, fine, end is near. You're just gonna show up and tell me what to do? No thanks. It's a good call out, right? Yeah. You've never seen somebody add. got me. That's fair. I was trying to be unique, Droner. No, you're not gonna tell me to use unsafe. They've already done that enough. We're being safe today. I was just trying to be unique. Okay, so I'm gonna add, and it's not gonna scale well, and it's gonna be badly performant, but that's the whole fucking point. All right, that's hilarious. It was very unique how you did that. Oh, thanks, Mom. Yeah, we're staying safe for now. We're staying safe. I'm too young. I'm too young to do things unsafe at this point. All right. This has a problem, doesn't it? Let me think about this. Let me think about this. Yeah, I was trying to be memory efficient. See, you're thinking of CPU. I'm thinking of memory. I am in a memory restrictive environment right now. That's such a great answer that, like, if you came up with that, like in an interview, like somebody's like, so why did you add there? And instead of saying what I say, which is, you know, just being honest, be like, well, you know, I was thinking if we were on a memory restrictive environment. All right, so no, that's awesome. And you probably don't want to use an array. Yeah, that's fair. What am I doing? This isn't gonna work the way that I want it to work, but we're gonna pretend that that's a thing. The problem is we're gonna have a panic because I did a 0 to priv.length, and that's not how it works. It needs to be to priv.len -1. How can I do this in Rust in a nice way? Do you just hate everything about this? Cannot move out of index of vec t. Move occurs because value has type t, which does not implement the copy train. Okay, give me a second here. Oh fuck! What are we gonna actually have to do? Let me think about it. Cannot borrow new as mutable as it is not declared as mutable. Well, that's definitely fair. Yeah. Oh, I know. I get it. I get it, Droner. I mean, the thing is, like, if I have not written C much, right? But if I was to write C, the difficulty. Oh dear. Lots of messages. The difficulty with which you have to do something here. I actually need to go, but is hard. Okay, I think I know what I'm trying to do here, even though we have a lot of compiler errors, right? And it's obviously not the right thing. I'm just gonna add the -1 so I don't forget, even though this is not how you do this. Customer says it is important. Well, in this case, the customer is my partner, so they kind of get it, you know. Yeah. All right. We're just gonna pretend we can do that, whether or not we can, and we will get to the rest of this tomorrow, most likely. Hopefully, I can stream tomorrow. If not, it's gonna be Wednesday. Wednesday seems good. So either tomorrow or Wednesday. Should start around, let's see if I can do the math real quick, 6:30 to 8 p.m. UTC. And we'll do that. Add to do next stream new exercise. Oh man, I know. It is. It's pretty bad. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate all the chats and everything. If you want to watch me continue to fail and hopefully learn something, right? We're gonna learn these data structures so hard because we have to implement them in Rust. Then send me a follow and you can follow along. Thanks, Stroner. I appreciate it. No, it's been fun having you around. Thanks, Teeny. Thanks a lot. Should we find somebody to raid? Let's see if anybody is Prime. I don't have enough viewers to raid Prime. Yeah, thanks, Soundle. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the follow again. I'm pretty sure I don't have enough streamers to raid Prime, which I would do just because I think it's funny. So I think I don't know. The last time I tried to raid him, I was trying to raid with 3. Let's try with, what do we have, 6 maybe? Let's just see. We might just cancel it, but I just want to see if it lets me raid him. It does. Okay, I'm not gonna raid him though. Yeah, okay, so he must have like a minimum of 5. I'm guessing that's what his minimum is. All right. I've been raiding Griff a lot, but you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with raiding Griff a lot. Let's see. Sure. Or there's this violin person that's pretty good. Anybody like violin? No? Everybody hates it? Okay. Oh, she says be right back. Raid yourself, right? I'm the one that needs the raids. You don't want to tell no, I mean, I'm following his thing. He's probably going to tell me that I'm stupid for doing it, but he's probably not even... All right, we'll just raid Prime. I just raided Griff last week. We'll raid Prime just for the hell of it, just because it's funny to... Now I don't know if I still have at least 5. Why not? Let's raid Prime. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll talk to you later.